Do you ever feel like your mind is a jungle gym of thoughts, swinging from one worry to another? Yeah, me too. We live in a world that glorifies busy, and it's easy to get caught in the trap of overthinking. We convince ourselves that if we just analyze every angle, predict every outcome, we'll somehow avoid pain, disappointment, or failure. But let's be real, that's not how life works. The truth is, overthinking is a cage. It keeps us small, stuck in our heads, and robs us of the joy of the present moment. It's like trying to climb a mountain with a backpack full of rocks. You might think those worries are protecting you, but they're actually weighing you down. But here's the good news. You can break free. It takes courage to be vulnerable with ourselves, to admit we're struggling, and to choose a different path. This video is about taking off that heavy backpack and stepping into the freedom of living with more presence, peace, and joy. The first step to quieting the mental noise is understanding what cranks up the volume. What sends you down the rabbit hole of overthinking? Is it a stressful work project? A difficult conversation you're dreading? Maybe it's scrolling through social media and comparing yourself to others. Pay attention to the situations, people, or even specific thoughts that trigger your overthinking patterns. Once you start to recognize these triggers, you're not at their mercy anymore. You can choose to respond differently. Think of it like building a muscle. The more you practice identifying your triggers, the stronger you become at catching those thoughts before they spiral out of control. You start to recognize the early warning signs and can say, there it is again. I see you, overthinking, but I'm not playing your game this time. Look, I'm not saying we can just positive thinking our way out of overthinking. It's tempting to try to shut down all our worries, but that's like trying to hold a beach ball underwater. It's only a matter of time before it explodes. We need to acknowledge our worries, but we get to decide how much space they take up in our lives. One way to do this is to set aside a specific time each day, maybe 15 to 20 minutes, to worry, overthink, or analyze. Call it your worry window. Write down everything that's on your mind, get it all out. But here's the key. Once the time is up, you close the window. You tell yourself, I've given you my attention, worry, but now it's time to move on. It might feel strange at first, but over time, this practice helps you regain control over your thoughts. Overthinking often pulls us out of the present moment and into the land of what-ifs and should-haves. Mindfulness is the antidote. It's about bringing our attention back to the here and now, without judgment. One of the simplest ways to practice mindfulness is through your breath. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. You don't have to change your breath, just observe it. When your mind wanders, and it will, that's what minds do, gently guide it back to your breath. Think of your breath as an anchor, grounding you in the present moment. Even a few minutes of mindful breathing can create a sense of calm amidst the storm of overthinking. Overthinking often goes hand in hand with negative self-talk. Those little gremlins in your head love to whisper doubts, fears, and worst-case scenarios. But here's the thing, you don't have to believe everything you think. Start to question those negative thoughts. Ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have to support this? You might be surprised how often those negative thoughts crumble under scrutiny. Remember, thoughts are just thoughts. They don't have inherent power over you unless you give it to them. The next time a negative thought pops up, try saying thank you for sharing, but I'm not buying what you're selling. One of the best ways to combat overthinking is to get out of your head and into your life. When you're engaged in something you enjoy, whether it's a hobby, spending time with loved ones, or pursuing a passion project, your mind doesn't have as much space to ruminate. What lights you up? What makes you feel alive? Make time for those things, not just when you're feeling overwhelmed, but regularly. Remember, life is happening right now, not in the swirling vortex of your thoughts. So get out there and soak it up. Overthinking can paralyze us when it comes to decision making. We get so caught up in weighing every option, analyzing every possible outcome, that we end up stuck. But here's the thing. Not making a decision is a decision in itself. Set a deadline for yourself to make a choice, even if it's a small one. Gather the information you need, trust your gut, and then take action. Remember, you can always course correct later if needed. The important thing is to break free from the cycle of endless deliberation. Striving for excellence is admirable, but striving for perfection is a recipe for misery. Perfectionism is often fueled by the fear of judgment, the need for control, and the belief that our worthiness is tied to our accomplishments. Give yourself permission to be perfectly imperfect. Embrace good enough. Done is better than perfect. Remember, you are worthy of love and belonging just as you are, flaws and all. Sometimes the best way to quiet the noise in your head is to get it out on paper. Journaling can be a powerful tool for understanding your thought patterns, processing emotions, and gaining clarity. Don't worry about grammar or punctuation. Just write whatever comes to mind. Write about your worries, your fears, your hopes, your dreams. The simple act of putting your thoughts into words can help you detach from them and see them from a new perspective. Sometimes we just need to hear our thoughts out loud to someone we trust. Talking to a friend, family member, therapist, or support group can provide a fresh perspective, validation, and a reminder that we're not alone in our struggles. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage. It's having the courage to reach out, to ask for help, to say, "I'm struggling." You don't have to have it all figured out. Sometimes just sharing your burden can make it feel lighter. It's easy to get stuck in the cycle of overthinking the problem. We go over it again and again in our minds, but we don't make any progress. It's like driving a car with the parking brake on. You're burning fuel, but you're not going anywhere. So why not shift your focus from the problem to finding solutions? What steps can you take, no matter how small, to move forward? Remember, you are resourceful and capable. You have overcome challenges in the past, and you can overcome this one too. In today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with information. The news, social media, notifications, it's no wonder our minds feel overwhelmed. It's like trying to drink from a fire hose. Be mindful of your information intake. Limit your time on social media. Unsubscribe from email lists that no longer serve you. Turn off notifications. Create boundaries around your consumption of information so you can create space for peace and clarity. Exercise is not just good for your physical health, it's a powerful stress reliever and mood booster. When you move your body, you release endorphins, which have mood-boosting effects. Find a form of movement you enjoy, whether it's dancing, running, swimming, yoga, or simply going for a walk in nature. Make time for movement, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. Your mind and body will thank you. Setting unrealistic goals is a surefire way to set yourself up for overwhelm and overthinking. When we feel overwhelmed, our minds go into overdrive trying to figure out how to do it all. Break down large tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Focus on one step at a time. Celebrate your progress along the way. Remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Contrary to popular belief, routines aren't about being rigid or boring. They're about creating structure and predictability in your day so your mind can relax. When you have a routine, you don't have to waste mental energy making decisions about basic things like what to eat for breakfast or when to exercise. This frees up your mind to focus on other things. Start small. Create a simple morning or evening routine. Over time, as you become more comfortable, you can add to it. Overthinking often stems from a desire for control. We want to predict and plan for every possible outcome, but the reality is life is full of uncertainty. And you know what? That's okay. Trying to control everything is like trying to hold back the tide. It's exhausting and futile. Learning to let go of control is not about giving up. It's about surrendering to the flow of life. It's about trusting that you'll handle whatever comes your way. When we're stuck in a cycle of overthinking, our minds tend to focus on the negative. We ruminate on what's wrong, what we don't have, and what we're afraid of. Gratitude is a powerful way to shift your focus from negative to positive. It's about appreciating the good in your life, no matter how small. Start a gratitude journal. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each day. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a sunny day, or a kind word from a friend. The more you focus on what you're grateful for, the more you'll start to notice all the good in your life. Look, quieting the overthinking mind is a journey, not a destination. There will be good days and bad days. There will be times when you fall back into old patterns, and that's okay. Be kind to yourself. The important thing is to keep practicing, keep learning, and keep moving forward. Remember, you are worthy of peace. You are capable of change, and you are not alone. What is one small step you can take today to quiet your mind and embrace the present moment?